abandoned, and you won't be helped neither by Allah, because shirk is greater injustice. Shirk is zulmun azim, and those you call upon because they are unable to help you. So this is a loss and losing this thing. And your Lord has decreed that you not worship except Him, and to parents good treatment. And when they are old, then whether one or both of them reach old age while with you, say not to them so much, "Uff." Do not repel them, but speak to them a noble word. Very beautiful ayah. Waqada rabbuka, imperative. This is mandatory. It is written. It is decreed. You have to do it. There is no choice for it. Qada Rabbuka, it has ordained, it has decreed, it has written for you what Allah ta'buduna, Allah ta'budu illa iyyahu. Believing in one Allah, not doing the shirk. And what is the second hukum? Wabil waldaina ihsana. Waldaina means tasnya. It is dual. Do good to both parents, whether they are together, separated, doesn't matter. Still you have to do good to both mother and father. Maybe they didn't raise you, they didn't give financial support, then also walidaina ihsana. Ihsan is from husn. Do good to them. Imma yablughanna indal kibara ahadahuma. Like maybe both reach to the kibar, old age, or one of them reach to the old age. What we have to do? Auka lihima fala taqul lahuma uffin. Don't even say uff. Uff is like a kalima kariha, which is like, when you clean your ear, the Q-tip, you see the dirt on it, on the Q-tip, that dirt talking, or the nails which has dirt in under the nails, that is called uff, tuf. So that's the thing here disliked by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when you say uff also to parents. Wala tanhar huma. Tanhar is from nahar. Like, this is like reprimanding your parents with harsh words, shouting at them, or making big sounds. Waqullahuma. But what you have to do? Qawlan karima. Do qawlan kareem. Karama is for, the grapes, the plant of the grape. It's so beautiful. And Arabs, from that, the meaning they take, Kareem is one of the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, noble, kind. So first it was said ihsan. Second it was said Kareem. So you have to honor your parents. Ayah number 23. It's very important. Respectable word. So here we see that old age is mentioned, and specifically because in old age, remember, as people they become weak, fragile, they deserve even more compassion, care, especially if they are parents, because a person is typically busy at that time when their parents have become elderly. Why are they busy? Because they have their own work, they have their own children, and of course the time have changed, and then a person needs a lot of patience, tolerance, and with their elderly parents, not just tolerance but ihsan. Because wabil waldaina ihsan, you don't just put up with them, but you must be extra nice to them. So that means fala taqullahuma uffin. Do not even say off to them. Uff is an expression of frustration, and it's very small word, which means that off is not allowed, that anything other than it's not allowed either. So do not express your annoyance in response to their request, for example. And this is also means that you shouldn't scold them, you shouldn't be harsh to them, you shouldn't be belittle them, especially when you have differences with them. And of course there are going to be differences between you and your elderly parents, because your priorities are completely different and your goals are different. Your lifestyles may be now be very different from what they are used to. Your needs are different, your concerns are different, so there will be clashes. So remember, at this age you cannot expect your parents to change. This is unrealistic. So you must be compassionate and respectable gentle with your parents. Remember, being able to care of elderly parent is actually a privilege. And hurting them, not earning Jannah by serving them, is a huge loss. Prophet ﷺ said, disgrace, disgrace, disgrace. The people said, for who? And he said, he who sees either of his parents during their old age, and he sees both of them and he does not enter Jannah. Why does he not enter the Jannah? Because he failed them. He failed to serve them. He failed to treat them kindly. Remember, birrul walidaina means being good to the parents is the best deed. And according to one of the hadiths, the best deed after salah, if you want to see what kind of person you are, then you look at two things: your duty to Allah and your duty towards your parents. How is your salah? It's on time? Is it proper? Or you are attentive? Or you are negligent with regards to your prayer? Does it get delayed every day? Secondly, look at your relationship with your parents. It's not necessary you get along with them 100%, but you are buddy with them. No, it's not about that. But how do you speak to them? Do you give them regard? Do you love them? Do you respect them? Do you show the compassion towards them? You know, when our parents are young, they don't feel that they are dependent or so. As soon as they become weak, they feel so. So here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that. So He mentioned the word kibr, old age. Sometimes our parents both get old, or one of them is old, one of them is young. But what if both get old? They take care of us when we were very small. We keep on repeating the things. We keep on, making our clothes dirty. And they change our diapers. They took care of you. What about us? What we are doing? And many sisters, they say, oh, we are not supposed to take care of our in-laws. Oh, there is no such thing in the Quran. They start talking about it. Unfortunately, we are being so selfish. We live with our husband day and night. He is the caretaker. He is the father of our children. And we are not giving respect to their parents. How can we do that? Because those parents, because they gave birth, you are spending your life with your husband. So give respect to them also. Don't be so selfish, just giving respect to your own parents and not giving respect to your husband's parent. Give respect. Have your heart big, vast, and be muhsin. Do ihsan to everyone. Now it's mentioned, وَخْفِضْ لَهُمَا جَنَاحَ ذُلِّ مِنَ الرَّحْمَةِ وَقُلْ رَبِّ ارْحَمْهُمَا كَمَا رَبَّيَانِي صَغِيرًا. Very beautiful dua. Like your parents are alive, then also you make this dua. If they are not alive, then also you make this dua. And lower to them the wing of humility out of mercy. Remember, وَخْفِضْ جَنَاحَ, to humble oneself. It doesn't mean that you are touching the feet of the parents, no. To come down just like a bird descent. It lowers its wing when it's landing, when it comes down. So be humble before your parents. Don't try to show that you are better than you. You must lower yourself. Don't be like a bird that is flying higher, higher. No, lower your wing. Come down. And if they are speaking what is completely illogical, or perhaps it's backward, perhaps it's their language, perhaps it's their accents, perhaps it's the fact they don't understand the world as you do. They are different. Still, no need to insult your parents, to speak rudely to them as to show that you know better than them or you are better than them. Rather be humble. Don't start arguing. He is not a person like, he is not your friend. He is not your anyone. He or she is your parents. After Allah and Rasul, you have to give them respect. وَخْفِضْ لَهُمَا جَنَاحَ ذُلِّ مِنَ الرَّحْمَةِ. Because remember, your rudeness, your harshness is very painful painful for your parents. When you become parents, that time you realize, but still you don't amend your things. Because think about, they raised you, they showed you love when you were illogical. Have you ever seen a child in their terrible twos? Some children, their terrible twos, they continue for many years. So they are extremely loud, very illogical. They are throwing tantrums all the time. But your parents showed you love. They care about you. So remember who you were. And sometimes it's difficult to be impatient, patient. You become impatient. Have mercy on that. And you wonder what's happening to my parents. They used to be so strong emotionally, and they were so logical, they were so understanding, they were so your source of support, they were so sensible. So it's very hard to see them becoming weak. So in that case, seek the help of Allah, that He should give them what you are not able to give them. وَقُلْ رَبِّ ارْحَمْهُمَا كَمَا رَبَّيَانِي صَغِيرًا. So make dua for them, and on the one hand show humility and be respectful. On the other hand, make dua for them. My Lord, have mercy upon them, as they brought me up when I was small, meaning took care of me when I was little. Now they need care. I can never care for them as they care for me. So, Ya Rab, you compassionate. Where I fall short, and I am falling short in my duty to my parents, may Allah guide me. It's a request to everyone. Tell them in a nice manner. They will understand. Rabbir Hamhuma, O Allah, have mercy on them. And this includes good health, this includes their safety, this includes their patience, dignity. Ya Allah, you have mercy upon them. And remember, the mother deserves even more kindness. 3 times mother than the father. When person, he was going for war, and he came to Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said, my parents are crying when I am going with you for the treaty. He said, Irjio, go back. When they are abka, they were crying, make them dahaka, make them laugh. As you made them cry, go back. And crying your parents is a kabira sin, and make them sad is a kabira sin. But if they are doing shirk, just like the father of Ibrahim al-Islam, convey the message. We can only convey, we can't convince the people. If they are backbiting, if they are doing wrong, if they are disobeying the people, so tell them nicely. They will understand. And after that, make dua. Keep on making dua. Rabbir hamhuma kama rabbayani saghira. Rabbukum a'lamu bima fi nufusikum. Your Lord is most knowing of what is within yourself, meaning He knows what you go through as children. Allah knows the state of your heart. Why are you taking care of your parents? Is to impress the world, or is the resentment that when is that I'm going to become free? They look after you, wishing for good health and life. Many people look after their parents, wishing for and waiting for their death. Unfortunately, that's really bad and sad for. So Rabbukum alamu bima fi nufusikum. Allah knows what is within yourself. He knows your intention. So this is a warning. And this is also a consolation, because sometimes what happens is that a person tries their best to take care of the parents. They try so hard, but some parents, give their old age, given their illness, given their condition, they are never happy with what their children do. In fact, they can actually be very abusive, or they began to emotionally blackmail their own children. If you don't do this, then I will pray against you. If your father is not pleased with you, if your mother is not pleased with you, then you have done no good. I am your father, I have your right. The parents, they emotionally blackmail you, and they say certain kind of things which they are not supposed to. So are we supposed to argue with them as we do with the other people? They are your parents. Allah has given that honor. We haven't given the honor. So sometimes it happens, no matter what a children is doing, taking care of them, It can be other way around also. Rabbukum alamu bima fi nufusikum. Allah knows whatever the things you are doing, Allah knows about it. So in takunu salihina fa innahu kana lil awwa baina ghafura. If you should be righteous in intention, then indeed he is ever to the orphan, returning to him forgiving. Meaning Allah will forgive you. So yes, there are times when the most loving and caring children also slip. They end up hurting their parents, end up falling short in the duty towards them. So what to do at this time? Turn back to Allah, ask him for forgiveness. So Allah, to those who turn back to him repeatedly, Awwabin, he is Ghafoor towards them, forgiving. This is why we should make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ya Allah, forgive me. You pardon me with the respect to my negligence, whether to my one parent or both parents. Ask forgiveness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And give the relative his right, and also the poor and the traveler, and do not spend